No, Garrus, I believe, is in like the. In it. Ashley in here? I forget. No, this was. Wait, is this my room? Might be my room.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's my room because Anderson, or I think it was his name, was in there. Go down a level. Well, we have Rex and Garrus left. And Polly, yeah. So that's Garrus, Rex, Ashley. Polly here. Yes, he is.
Staring at the
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you
It's
want
almost like it's her species or something.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Pretty good.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
That's
Where else
pretty
have you
impressive.
served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Job, Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small.
Well, we didn't fix
I'm
it.
starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
Yeah, we're pretty amazing.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space.
I mean, you're
I
standing.
have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly.
Mostly.
We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Right. Then what are you mining if not raw materials?
You.
I guess, yeah.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most
Who's
captains
martial?
nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Man, just talking to to like other species and shit in a game like this, makes me miss HK47, where he can just go smug statement and then just say a thing. I'm like, oh, it's such a brilliant move to have that type of speech pattern. I fucking love him so much. I want more things to just. Surely that can't be copyrighted, so someone should really make robots speak like that. They should make your sci-fi robots just speak like that as a. That's just how sci-fi robots speak. Please, that would be awesome because it's so good. Oh, I miss HK47 so much, dude.
I want to know more about
You never bring him up.
Maturity,
I'd never
we leave our
realized.
birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
Oh, okay.
That doesn't
Same
It's
looking.
not the best way to make a good
I want
impression.
to talk about something else.
Like what?
This is talking about your culture's boring me.
I want to know more about the gift.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Well, you know where you went wrong then.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal.
No, you just created a race of robots that want to kill you.
So gradual that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built
That could be a
and more
problem.
Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine,
And then
this
Google
caused a
said
mere
they were
panic
shutting
among
off
my
that
people.
AI experiment.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You didn't really think they'd just let you destroy them without a fight, did you?
The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's these two options both seem to be for the
Yeah.
Geth almost.
Yeah, no, and I'm not for the Geth. They're fucking robots, who cares?
I should go.
See you later.
Like, I have a very strong stance of it's a robot, it's not that it's not actually a person. There seem to be a lot of people that I've seen, like some scientists that are starting to push, like, no, AIs could be like people. No, they aren't.
No.
No, they're not at all.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Come on, just a
Krogan's
short.
lived for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
Big deal.
Whatever. Genocide here, genocide there. Who gives a shit?
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Yeah.
What a
Yeah, you
what a fucking I don't. Yeah, Renegade. or Iranian-esque options sure seem
Yeah.
fucking
Psychopathic.
psychotic. Just like, wow.
You may.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
That seems goading for some reason.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Sorry,
Hmm.
Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
For a meathead, he's a
Ask
surprisingly
the
deep
Solarians if
thinker.
you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Fair enough.
You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard. Rex.
Save Garrus for last.
Commander?
Oh, do I get to choose? Oh, wait.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Sucked!
Sure, I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Not everyone has a happy family life.
No, I guess not. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure, I was hoping to get a minute of your time off the record.
What record are we talking about here?
What about?
Is this duty-related, Chief?
No, ma'am. Well, maybe. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander,
Who's Vicarian?
should they have full access to the ship?
Who's Vicarian? What? Unless she's using... Is that... Oh, it's Garrus, maybe. Just using his last name?
No.
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy.
Based
We should get free rein to
spacist.
poke around the
I
weapon
like
systems.
actually.
Engines, sensors, weapons.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Oh!
No, ma'am. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander. Commander? I'm sorry, Commander. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though. Ma'am.
I want her to touch more upon her reasoning to that, but sure.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
You knew?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it
within
done that
reason.
way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
I'm
Whatever.
confused by this.
Yeah.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
This has the this is a very bad problem that a lot of, and I think this is the game to blame it on, but because this was designed for consoles, they wanted like the and various other things in the development. They cut down the amount of choices that you'd have from like a KOTOR. Because in
Yeah.
a KOTOR situation, you're not given like 3
And
choices.
Dragon Age, Origins, and
Yeah, you're given a list.
yeah, a list of like it could be ranging from like from potentially 3 to 7 or 8 or
Yeah,
just
Fallout's the bit ultimate example because it's like here's like 6 choices. Whatever, I guess. Feel free to do whatever, and here it's like,
Aaron Ferros, hold on. Okay, so the council has received reports of a Gareth interest in the corporate research colony of Noveria. You have to attack the world of Ferros. Your primary objective is go to Shu's colony to investigate what Saren is after and why he sent his capture to the planet. Okay. Guess we'll go to the one that's closest. Question mark? What is this related to? Codex 57? What is that related to? Oh yeah, we had a bunch of
other things.
these. Right, unusual reading.
Unusual reading, which is I couldn't think of a joke in time of like a bad book to read. Yeah. Just imagine I said something funny there, I guess.
We'll go to Noveria then. Axe?
Oh shit! Watch out, don't get the packs, Blue.
Oh, looked like it said swag when I didn't pay attention. I was like, what?
Swag overload.
Approach control, this is the SSV Normandy, requesting a vector into berth.
Normandy, your arrival was not scheduled. Our defense grid is armed and tracking you. State your business.
Citadel business. We got a Council Spectre aboard.
Landing access granted, Normandy. Be advised, we will be confirming identification on arrival. If confirmation cannot be established, your vessel will be impounded.
I'd like to see you
What
try,
a fun
bitch.
bunch. I think I'll take my next leave here.
I don't want Joker's face to take up 90% of the camera ever again. Like, the model isn't that impressive, guys.
Alright, this time we'll take Leora and Tally, I guess. Is that technically this? No, we have less combat strength, but more biotic and... Yes, yeah, one is full biotic, one is full tech.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
$32 points.
That's...
What is this? That's 40%. Okay. So, I mean, might as well do that first, and then we want so we want probably increase decryption. Yep, how this is different from just using a med thing, unless ours doesn't use any otherwise, or like it doesn't affect everyone. Maybe. And then I guess we'll focus on no, our sniper rifle has been fine so far. I guess we'll focus on electronics. We have a fire shield. Restores 400 extra hull during vehicle repair. Tally. It rarely drives by basic robotic enemies berserk, so they will attack anything nearby. Cool. Overload. Then
Hacking.
I guess that's the unique one to hers. Oh, that's all. Oh no, that's the one that I actually. What? On toggles her helmets, sure. Already has one on. Okay, you have all of this shit. You can be mighty useful. Reduces recharge time on all her biotics. First aid heals an additional 20 points of damage. Reduces recharge time of first aid. Okay, we'll just max this out first, and then we'll go.
I put my phone onto my desk and broke everything.
Creates a vortex that draws objects towards it. Yeah. Singularity. Makes the target unable to move or attack, but also immune to damage. Right. Unlock that, so we have that. Okay, and then we want to have... lift everything within 4 meters of the target into the air. Get to advanced throw, that works. Okay, need to check their equipment as well, because why don't they equip them with anything? Gives you more shields and tech and biotic protections. Sure, you can get that. What is that you use? Or both? Did both use pistols and? Oh no, you don't use anything. You're using a pistol most likely. Pistols and shotguns.
Do.
Oh, no armor mods, don't you? See here. Oh, she's got a lot of things. So do you. I'll have my 4 there. Okay, good.
There we go. My data has been updated on the last score of the day.
That's far enough.
Something wrong, officer?
You better hope there isn't.
This is an unscheduled arrival. I need your credentials.
You first.
We're the law here. Show some respect.
I am the law.
I'm Captain Maiko Matsuo, Ilanis Risk Control Services.
I'm a Spectre. My name is Shepard.
Load of horse crap, ma'am.
We will need to confirm that. Also, I must advise you that firearms are not permitted on Noveria. Sergeant Sterling, secure their weapons.
No.
She starts
Not
glowing.
search for the Geth unarmed.
Glowing purple.
Yes, starts glowing with menacing energy.
Nobody takes my weapon.
Charge and lock!
We're authorized to use lethal force. You have to the count of 3 to surrender your weapons. 1, 2, 3.
Captain Matsuo, stand down.
Someone who knows what they're doing.
We confirmed their identity. Spectres are authorized to carry weapons here, Captain.
You may proceed, Spectre.
Back in your
This visit will
hole!
be less confrontational. Parasini-san will meet you upstairs.
Behave
Back in your fucking hole, lady.
That gave me renegade points apparently.
Who cares? I do exactly the same thing.
Also, I am wholly against her using Chinese fucking yeah, what they call them. She said "san" after the name, and I highly am against that unless you're actually do not speak English and use fucking.
Weapons detectors, don't mind the alarms.
Oh, that's you.
I am Gianna Parasini, assistant to Administrator Ananias. We apologize for the incident in the docking bay.
I have urgent business here.
One of my duties is orientation of new arrivals. Do you have any questions?
Pretty heavy security for such a small port.
The Executive Board does everything in its power to protect the privacy of our client corporations.
I'm not here to dig out any corporate secrets.
That's gratifying to hear.
Has anyone unusual passed through here recently?
Unusual? And a sorry matriarch passed through a few days ago. Lady Benezia.
Right.
Well then!
She is here?
She's dead. Show me where she is, I'll shoot her.
Can I speak with her?
Benezia left for the Peak 15 research complex days ago. To the best
She
of
who's
my
the
knowledge,
stare.
she's still there.
Yeah.
That's where I need to be then.
You'll need to ask Administrator Ananias for clearance to leave this port.
Where can I find the administrator?
His office is on the main level, left at the top of the elevator.
Thank you very
Understood.
much.
Can we go in now?
Of course. If you need any help, you can ask me at the Administrator's office.
Thank you
She
very
is
much
here.
for your assistance.
I can't believe it. I imagine you want to talk to me, Shepard. About my mother.
Mother.
We talked about her before, but things change when you're up against something. If it's her or me, who would you shoot?
I don't think she would answer you
meant what I said
to your
before.
face.
Her actions are wrong. If you would feel
I
safer
shoot
leaving
myself.
Norman,
She just
I
goes
will
myself.
stay. But I would like to see her. Maybe I
Number
can
one, most
persuade her to come
unpredictable.
peacefully.
I don't think that's likely, but you can try.
Thank you, Shepard. That means a great deal to me.